Aaron, what's up?
What up, man?
Cool. I got the privilege and the opportunity to see on video, or
Oh, how does this work here?
it's a great profile pic, by the way.
Thank you. There we
What's
go.
up, my man? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, finally, right?
Looks like everybody's coming out of dinner here. I'm getting messaged on Facebook. They'll be here shortly, so we're gonna get a few more people popping on. Cool, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Ready to crush?
Yeah, it's been busy already today. Insane.
I was just saying to Gian, who was in the waiting room with me, who rocks the marketing. Things are going pretty wild on our end. Search intent is going wild, and it's just there's a lot of volume. We got Rob McKenzie in the house. The one, the only. Tip your screen down. Let's see that handsome face. All right, cool. What's up, champ?
Not much. How's it going?
Cool, excellent. I know a lot of people are just finishing up dinner and stuff. They'll be on their way over, but I think we might have actually Adam Chapman join tonight. Let me call him and get him on. Let's see if we can get Mr. Chapman in. I've got some pretty cool news too. The AK, you might have seen the teaser.
Oh, I saw it.
This machine, the AK300, is gonna be nuts, guys. What's up, you beautiful human being, you? We all miss your handsome face. Come on in, Mr. Chapman. Let's see ya. All right, cool. See you in a bit, bud. Connor, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, check these renderings out. They're pretty sick.
I saw it on your page today. Yeah, it looks pretty neat.
Yeah, we're stoked, man. So yeah, it's basically we're gonna market disrupt air operated spray systems in the marketplace. They're just too expensive. Like it's too hard to get an air operated spray system for a reasonable price. And so Lee Kuhn, the president of RhinoWorks, and I went to town, and we're just like, you know what, we gotta figure out how to get this price point down, because centrifugal operated units they're good units and they work, but you have to rebuild those pumps every so often. The seals will blow in them. It's like it's just inevitable. So when you go air operated and you have manual agitation, you keep your sealer a little bit mixed better with the paddles in the tank. And then with the air up, you can spray sealer with some sand loads in it too, if you ever wanted to go and spray sand or a job spec it out for sand. And it works really with it really works with high pressure as well. So you can get that one like way up to your like waist, like 4 feet above the ground. So you can
How often do you have to hand agitate that so it doesn't get kind of stuck in the?
Just like if you have sand loads, you got to do it like every 20 minutes, 25 minutes, just to keep the sand suspended. Okay. But from a sealer perspective, you can do it, right every 2 hours or 3 hours. It's pretty much good to go. Anyway, we're super excited about it because it's going to be in US dollars. It's going to be sub 10 grand, and every other competitor, and that's delivered. And then every other competitor is running at like 14,000 delivered. So we're pretty stoked for somewhere, yeah. So we're going at it. So yeah, we're stoked about that. Those were all the renderings today with Eric and Eric Heiser and Lee, who just finished all the designs and pre-orders taking place, and then going into 75 builds, man. So we're stoked. It's exciting news.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats. That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, Adam Chapman just got one. Believe it. He's the first customer to get one. Yeah, it's awesome.
Nice.
He didn't even know what it looked like.
No, he wasn't using oil last year.
He was using oil-based sealer.
Switch over.
I didn't really convince him. I just said, hey, listen, it's oil-based sealer. Yeah. I mean, oil-based sealer it's not even oil-based sealer. Oil It's more of a surface rejuvenator. It's very thin. It's not viscous, so it doesn't fill in like any of the true fissures and cracks in the surface. It's not a sealer. It's too thin to be a sealer. It's a water repellent, so I guess it repels water. But when it comes to sealing in cracks and stuff, nah. Like as much as when I used to spray oil-based sealer, like as much as you'd spray the oil-based sealer in a small crack, like after 5 minutes, it's just back, right? It's just there. It's oil based.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's going to happen. Also, big news is that I was on the phone with Environment Canada. So coal tar is phasing out of the Canadian market in the next 2 years completely. They're going straight asphalt emulsion. Yep.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be a big move. So you want to make sure that you're prepping for that. And at the same time, they're talking about the oil-based sealer. They've been talking about this stuff forever, but they're on it now. And they've been speaking with Resisto, a huge roofing product manufacturing company out of Drummondville. They actually manufacture our sealer for us. And so that's going to be phasing out. Look who we have. We have Adam Chapman in the house. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up? What's up, champ?
Not too much. Just got in from the gym, actually.
Cool. We got Alex is in too. Alex, what's up, my man?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you and we can see that beautiful logo right on your hat, man.
So man, I'm just writing bids. I'm like hopping in here. I got a busy day, but yeah, just thought I'd hop in and listen and join in if need be.
Cool. Yeah, we're not going to be on for an hour tonight. We're going to go probably for about a half an hour and stuff. And the reason why, I mean, everybody else is welcome to stay on, but I got to roll out of here at 8:30. I have Big Mike, who is a musician, playing here at the hotel by the bar. And we've got a fundraising charity that we're doing for WISE, for secondary education, to help get some books and some things together. So I'm donating the bar to that effort as a give back. And then we have a $10 ticket fee. So the place is jammed. We've got like Adam, we have like 110 people here, dude.
And I wish I was there. When I'm hearing about it, I'm like, oh, I can't. I wish I was there.
Yeah, it was fun. Fun for sure. James, what's up? Rod, how's it going, my man?
How's it going?
Let's see your beautiful
Hey,
faces. Let's see your beautiful faces, guys. Let's hop on. Guys, let's just do a quick round robin. A quick intro again. I know it's always good to know who's on here. Rob McKenzie, why don't you start?
Yeah. Rob McKenzie. I'm in Hamilton, Ontario. I own Black Max Asphalt Services. I've been in, this is my third full year going into it now. It's grown quite a bit. I'm a teacher, kind of ready to retire at one point in time here, and maybe we're going to take this full time and make a nice run of it.
Rocking it. Cool. Connor.
Yeah, I'm from Northeast PA, company CB Sealcoating. This will be my 6th season, but my 3rd season full time. So first couple of years was just like a little side hustle,
And so how was that transition to go from like 3 years part-time into full-time? How hard was it for you to make that decision?
It was scary, but it was within the first couple months, I knew it was like the best decision I could have made for sure.
Yeah. Do you feel like, honestly, straight up, do you feel more freedom, or do you feel more stressed about actually having your own business now?
A little more. It's like they go hand in hand. I mean, I have the freedom, but in order to do this successfully, you don't. You're out, you're hitting the pavement, you're getting your bids out, and it's like I have more freedom to do it, but it's what I like doing, so it's all right.
Cool owning your own business, right?
Yeah, it is. It's been a journey.
Yeah, man, definitely. Well, I look forward to hearing about you scaling, man. And if there's anything I can do to ever help bounce anything off of, and that's why we're creating these kind of rooms, guys, is the AK Roundtable is designed to ask questions and share. I'm not going to be I don't want to be the only one speaking. I just want to put a good group of people together and let people kind of jam and bring up topics. If there's things that work for you, let's talk about what works, and let's try and replicate and improve the industry, and let's win more together. That's really the point of this all. Brian. Baron, not Brian. Baron, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I'm from Minnesota here, and just thinking about starting now. So I've been talking to a few people, Judd and Adam, and hopefully getting some pretty big contracts coming up this summer to get me on the roll.
And right now you do own a service-based business, right?
Yeah, I own We Shine Windows, window cleaning business. Do about 500, 550 houses a summer.
Cool, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. And Mr. Chapman, what do you do?
Well, I do. I have my company Pad Pal.
Other than modeling.
Yeah. Well, gloves maybe, eh? Yeah, so I have my company Pad Pal. I've been doing this for 3 years. I was doing a service business for 3 years as well. While I was in university, and then I graduated and started Pad Pal. And yeah, we're based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. We do a variety of services. Our biggest one is holiday lighting and asphalt. We're pretty heavy in residential historically for the asphalt. In the summer, our goal is to get into more commercial deals.
Sick. Mr. Hilton.
How are you doing today, sir?
Couldn't be better, man. How are you?
Good. Rodney Hilton from Lorain, Ohio, about 20 miles west of Cleveland. Express Asphalt Solutions, heading into our second year. Had an amazing first year with the help of Judd. Wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for him, all his knowledge and his info. We're about 80% commercial, 20% residential. Went ahead and expanded quite a bit. Have 3 seal coating trucks now. We bought 2 pavers. We're going into the paving division this year. 3 dump trucks and so on. So again, it was an amazing year. Can't wait to this year. It's an amazing business to be in. I just want to be an asset to the business.
It's awesome, man. Congrats on your wild growth.
Yeah, it's great.
But is it scary growing that fast?
No, not at all. Absolutely not. I'm ready for the challenge. It really blew up a couple months into it. It was just, I mean, sure, there were some learning curves, you know what I mean, but they're just learning curves. Made me, better, and now I know what to look for what happened last year, but we worked through them learning curves and expanded. So, but yeah, it was an amazing venture, and can't wait to another month and a half and hit it again.
Man, that is rapid, extreme growth. I'm really excited to see how your year 2 goes. Do you struggle with finding staff at all to keep up with your rapid growth?
Well, I started last year with 2 guys, ended up with 6. And then now I just hired 3 more. So total of 9, we're going to head out the gate with. I mean, but you get some that show up one day and you won't see them for 2 or 3 days. And, but I got 3 really good guys, that's dependable every day, knows what they're doing. And we're going to see how these other ones are, so just give them a chance, and they got to prove themselves. And when they prove themselves, then that's when, we talk more finances and go from there.
Hey, Rob, you mind if I ask you something?
Absolutely.
How'd you get so much capital with like 3 guys, like all those trucks and stuff?
Well, I actually, I don't know if Judd will remember this or not, but when I talked to Judd last January, I think it was January 20th.
Yep.
I actually bought a truck and built it myself. Bought a 1,300 gallon tank, cut the holes in it, welded it, did all the inside agitation for it, all hydraulic. I actually started this off with $10,000. And now, like I said, we have what we have. Everything's paid for through last year. I have my initial investment back, and commercial is where it's at, I believe.
That's
commercial.
crazy.
I mean, commercial. You can land, one commercial job that says $30,000, and like we was talking last week for when you do residential driveways. I mean, you're better off to land a big commercial way, and as you was talking, also. about how big it is for commercial. So commercial is where it's at, and commercial is what's made us have an amazing year.
Yeah.
And word of mouth, you know what I mean? We got hooked up with some municipalities, and that led to other ones. So, and our website, we just keep pounding new pictures and videos and put on the website with the picture what it is and where it's at, so these other people can look at it and drive by and see the work and stuff like that. So,
are you guys like spraying it down behind the trucks, or are you got like dragging a squeegee too?
No, well, it all depends. You know what I mean? Normally, if they don't have a recommendation, then we just go ahead and spray 2 coats, because we have 2 spray bars. We have a 2,300 gallon. We have a 2,300 gallon seal coat tank. We have a 1,500 gallon, and then we have a 500 gallon. So, but the big ones we use is with the spray bars on the backs of the trucks. But yes, normally we spray 2 coats down, unless, you know, they have a recommendation they want it squeegee. So, and then, you know, we just take it from there. But normally, yes.
Like run the middle, and then you have a couple guys cutting in the edges or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yeah. You got to have, you know, one guy on one side, one on the other. They meet in the middle. And by that time, you know what I mean? You're going ahead and spraying in the middle, and you're just going all the way over to the other side.
There's a guy by the name of, oh shoot, I'm going to forget it right now. Dave Hendershot, who lives in Nashville. I did a recording with him in Nashville. I did an interview. And on his year 1, he grew as fast as Rod did. This kind of growth is like unbelievable. You know, for me, I didn't grow that. We grew fast, but not that fast. And so I'm really interested, because I didn't have any experience with business really before I got started. I started with a 5-gallon pail straight up, like, you know, door knocking, 5-gallon pails. And so I didn't really have anybody to look up to. I didn't have any previous business experience, you know, at all. And so I was just going out and trying to scale and drinking from a fire hose. I didn't have a group of people to talk to. I didn't have any company to help me with. I didn't even have a supplier really, other than like Canadian Tire that sold me 5-gallon buckets for $8 at the hardware store. And the guy that was selling it to me didn't even know what it was. He thought it was like roofing tar. And it was like, I think about this right now, and I'm like, Rod, were you in business before? Did you run construction? Like how did you have this knowledge to scale or to build and scale?
Well, I've been in business since I was 19 years old. At 19, I started a detail shop and had that for 16 years. And in the middle of that, after the 10-year point of the detail shop, I had opened up a car lot, and then I had opened up a sports bar. It's like I don't know if you guys are familiar with Applebee's or not, but it's like a bar, you know, restaurant. So, and then got divorced and had to sell everything and split it.
Don't mean to laugh. I've been there too. Yeah.
So I had to start from scratch again, and like when I, you know, got in touch with you, I was just scrolling YouTube, listening to some music, and all of a sudden you popped up, and then, I mean, it was just history from there. I mean, it just felt so right. For whatever reason, you just kept popping up for 3 days, and I'm like, well, let me check this. What's going on here with this guy? You know what I mean? And then that's when I was like, wow, this is me. This is the calling. So I went ahead and done that, and I mean, it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? I'm literally working from 4 o'clock in the morning. As you know, as you're up early, you post, I'm hitting it. I'm hitting your likes right off the bat. You know what I mean? Early. So, and then I work until 11, 12 o'clock at night because I'm single. So I got the, you know, my kids are grown and everything else. But what I do is, what I started off with was, so I don't know if you can see this or not, but I made these flyers here. And then handed them out. And then I went to these postcards that I do for mailers for zones. And then I have this other postcard here for other like residentials. And then this one's for commercials. So, and now what we're doing is, it's weird that you was talking about pavement management, about going to these companies and charging them a flat fee each month. Well, I'd already been doing the homework on that and putting everything together. So now I have a packet together that I'm going on vacation here Friday for a week. But when I get back, I'm getting everything put together, getting everything done. And then I'm going to start hitting all these, the car lots and the churches and, you know, the bigger box stores. And, you know, we landed a Walmart last year that we seal coated. And it was a great profit, but dealing with them is just, it's kind of up and down. You know what I mean? You just got to wait so long for the funds, and, you know, you got to work around their schedules and stuff like that. So, but they actually called us back, the guy who I spoke with, done work for last year, and said he's got 5 more Walmarts that he was wanting us to take a look at.
Man, you're crushing it. You're crushing it, Rod. I'm so stoked about this. So as you're showing postcards and stuff like that, I want to, I just shared a link. You guys don't buy it. Omi, you're on here right now, right? Can you hear me, Omi?
Loud and clear, boss.
Awesome. Cool. Omi, by the way, handles all of our social media, all of our YouTube editing and everything. And he's a beast. Show your face, man. We want to see you, brother. Let's go. But he's a chat, man. He's been helping me. We've got it. Our phones have been just crushing off the hook, man. There's Omi, superstar. Yeah, he's responsible for all the YouTube videos and everything right now. I'm just the guy on camera, but he does all the editing and everything. Omi, okay, listen, guys, if you want to have this 10-year pavement maintenance plan that we've done, it's like a 10-year budget plan that you can essentially help your customers budget for 10 years ahead of time and really help them in understanding what they need to budget every 3 years to do asphalt maintenance. It's a good start. Check it out and let me know if it's helpful. But you could email Omi, post your email in the chat, and guys, copy and paste that email. And if you want that 10-year plan, just email Omi that you want the 10-year pavement template. It's just a template. So just email him and he'll hook you up for free at no cost. So he'll send that over to you. And there you go. So you're all set. But yeah, guys, that kind of stuff, being a lighthouse for your customers too, and really helping them understand, not just from a marketing perspective about what you do, but really what you're helping them understand for the go forward. Is something huge. Alex, what do you do for educating? Do you educate your customers about the future, or just kind of that one-time service offering that you're doing?
I mean, you kind of talk to them about the lifespan of the pavement and how they have to have a regular maintenance schedule, and, you know, providing an estimate with the work that's on their property, and then just kind of following them from year to year, because we do a lot of stuff with them outside of just the asphalt. So
Right.
Yeah, not a lot of education, like straight up education on like, hey, you need to plan for the next 10 years. I don't think a lot, because we deal with mostly apartment complexes. The front office staff, they kind of rotate through a lot. You know, some people stick around a few years, they live on the property or something like that. But, you know, you have somebody that's there 1 year, maybe 2 years, some other gal comes rolling through. I don't think that's really the right person to talk to about, hey, here's their pavement maintenance plan for the next 10 years. But if you have like a facilities manager, you know, that oversees a whole bunch of properties and is kind of like in a regional role, then I think that's a better conversation to have with that type of person.
More of a decision maker, or the actual,
Yeah. Like this, I'll share a story if you don't mind.
Go for it. Now let's do it.
Super stoked. So we do a lot of the partnerships with like these vendor credentialing companies, third-party vendor credentialing. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but one of the ones we work with is called Net Vendor, and they sent us out like a bid request for a property, and I literally like went out there yesterday and locked in a $350,000 contract within like 2 hours of sending them the bid today. I think these vendor credentialing companies, kind of like the regional management or the management companies, there's a big opportunity for these guys, and that those type of companies would take a look at more of these long-term plans, I think. But it was like very little effort. They found us because we're on the vendor list, and they reached out to several contractors, and we were like one of the only ones to respond. And so they just immediately went with us. But yeah, I just got word on that like a few hours ago. I was like pretty excited.
This right here is why I love what we're doing right here, is because when you spoke about that, I watched most of the people on the screen literally go to a notepad and write those notes down, and now they're going to push that, execute it, move on it, act on it. Like, to me,
Yeah.
that's if one of us is winning in an area, let's all win, right? There's enough asphalt everywhere to win, so let's do that. Rod, what's up? Tell us.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of what Alex just said. I ran across the same situation in the middle of last year. So what I done was, in the middle of last year, I was talking to the facilities manager, and he had 9 stores that he was over top of. So I started brainstorming real fast, and I came up with a trifold. I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is a trifold here explaining of all the attributes of what we do. So I went ahead and locked him in for a 5-year plan on taking care of his complete parking lot, where he don't have to worry about absolutely nothing. No striping, no seal coating, no patch repair, no crack seal, no nothing. And we locked him in for 5 years for all 9 stores. And I mean, it worked out, great for the last 3.5, 4 months. And but we have a lot. We won a lot of bids by somebody calling for a quote. Within 2 hours, I want to have my quote to them, if it's at a reasonable time that we get it. So within 2 hours, I want to make sure that's emailed to them or it's in their hand by there. So, and then we've got a lot of jobs like that, being the first ones there, and then talking to them if you're face to face and selling them on it. Hey, this is what it is. This is what it is. And, we tell them we're not going to be the cheapest at all. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you that. So if that's what you're looking for, I understand where you're coming from, but, we're probably not going to have a good working relationship. We do quality. So, and that's how we was successful last year.
That's awesome. That's awesome, my man. Adam, I want to hear from you, dude, because I know you're in a very interesting stage in your growth. I just told everybody you're the first person to buy the AK 300 Boss. Like that's you didn't even know what it looked like, and I'm like, I'm just so stoked that he's number one. That makes me freaking happy, guys. Yeah, I'm really stoked. And so I know you're in this not transition, but you're in this transitional growth stage right now in your company. Can you talk a little bit about maybe where you're going this season and what it's looking like right now for you? Because you were down here for a while, and obviously there was a lot of thinking going on, and that thinking time's important, right? But now you're now in the grain of acting on the plan to roll this out. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so my company PadPal, we were originally going to do the traditional, like, continuing to scale by adding vehicles and increasing production in terms of just labor wise. Going into last year, we had 12 guys working. However, so yeah, we had 12 guys working, but then we sat down, also just kind of like where our interests align, like my own personal interests. And so we decided, instead of like continuing to add vehicles and like continue to keep adding more trucks and more labor, we're just trying to spend this entire year to optimize. So we're trying to hit a pretty lofty profit margin this year. By like fine tweaking and very like getting in granular on the fine details of processes and all of our automations through HubSpot and like our website tracking, our landing pages, and just optimizing it as much as possible so it is sort of streamline the entire business and work more on, like having a higher margin is our focus. And then in turn is like turning around and helping other people with service businesses, like make minor tweaks or like help them with their marketing, which is one of our strongest suits. Like we didn't really do any paid ads at all last year, less than $1,000, and we had all of our vehicles full every day, all through just like organic social media and our retargeting through our email campaigns. So like trying to take that stuff and fine tune it even more, and then down the road offer it to groups like this and help out everyone else grow as well. So we're kind of a different approach to versus just trying to fill your calendar, add another truck, fill a calendar, add another truck. But like we're excited to see what we can kind of come up with on the back end and really like dissecting the sealing business. And then in terms of the actual work, like I said earlier, we're really residential heavy, but we're gonna really start focusing on the commercial stuff, which is why we ordered that AK300. It looks beautiful.
Coming along, man. It's sick. So like commercial work, like what kind of commercial work are you targeting?
Like what businesses you mean?
Yeah.
So our first one we're going to go after is churches. Is our first target there. We the last I just got home like I guess almost 2 weeks ago now. Had a lot of like other like back end and stuff for us kind of putting together like all of our campaigns, our social media, because that's like my two things I take care of at the company is the sales and the marketing and the content and stuff like that. So doing that sort of stuff. We did sign a really strategic partnership. It is residential, however, it's going to be a pretty big deal. So it's going to work out to roughly $5,000 to $7,000 a week worth of jobs, equaling up to $150,000 throughout the summer of residential jobs for an interlock and paving company that have been around for 30 something years. Reached out to them through Instagram DM and end up sitting down, and then they're basically selling the jobs, booking the work, like taking care of it all, and then one of our teams just gonna be dedicated to fulfillment. So not a commercial deal, but also it was like one of those deals that really moves the dial a bit, right? That's
awesome.
Our big deal so far from this year.
That's awesome. You know, guys, when we talk about this, and it's one of the things in our company that we're doing right now to really, really tweak and tune. You know, you hear a lot of companies saying, "Hey, listen, I've got a boatload of revenue. I'm making, a couple $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $1 million, whatever the number is." And they're celebrating the revenue, right? They're celebrating. And of course, I think we all know deep down inside really that celebrating the revenue is not what you should be celebrating. Owning a $10 million company or $5 or $1 million company is not certainly what I celebrate. I celebrate my bottom line. I celebrate the cash that I have in my hand. That's what I truly celebrate. And so there's a 1% rule that I would strongly recommend you guys evaluate with all of your businesses, is that you actually try to move things 1% in every area. And that 1% in every area can be a huge amount of money to your bottom line every year. So if you increase your price 1%, if you decreased your cost 1%, and you decreased your transactional fees 1%, like how many of you accept credit card who are in the business? How many of you accept credit card right now? How many of you actually receive payments via credit card? And I'll tell you that those credit card fees are like 2.4%, 2.6%. And if you're processing a credit card for $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 job or $2,000 job, at the end of the year, it really, really adds up. You know, in our business, to give you an idea, we spend about $710,000 a year in credit card processing fees. To give you an idea, It's nuts. And so if we are able to move that credit card processing fee, like today we placed a big order for a client and he wanted to pay by credit card, and I asked him if he could send us an email money transfer, and he's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, we just saved $1,800 in credit card processing on one transaction. And it's like, think about that, right? So think about your bottom line, guys. It's really, really important when you're going out and negotiating and you're cutting your price down, you're cutting your price down and cutting your price down. Just know that it's impacting the cash in your hand. You know, a $10,000 deal where you drop down to $9,700 is $300 that comes right out of the hand, right? So you gotta make sure, try to make sure you're adjusting all of your stuff, not in a huge fashion, but micro aspects of reduction of costs, increases of pricing, and making sure that you're optimizing the business well, so that at the end of the season or at the end of the quarter, that you're sitting there going, man, that's cool, man. My net margin, my net profit's sitting there at, you know, a nice healthy point of, let's say 22.2%, which is a common thing in our industry. 22.2% is where I used to be. What's your net profit number, Adam? Where are you?
Our goal this year is 38.
Woo, huge.
I admit though, we are like, we're definitely like priced high, like higher for, well, we do residential too, right? Then instead of commercial. So that helps.
I mean, that's $1 million in revenue, you yield $380,000 walk away in net profit after your salaries and everything. I mean, that's a pretty freaking awesome scenario, guys. That's awesome goal to set. Congratulations. If you know, that's something to shoot for, and shoot for the stars, guys. Like set your kind of your goal, and then set the star goal, right? Like shoot for the stars. Like right now, you know, sorry, Adam, I cut you off. Keep going there, buddy.
No, it's all good. See?
Okay. Yeah, I was, you know, in our case, we said we're going to grow by 50%. We set up a one-page strategic plan, and we looked at what our conversion rates were. We looked at our average order value. We looked at the number of repeat orders that we're going to get from a customer. We looked at the lifetime value associated with customers. We looked at the number of leads. How many more leads are we going to get? How much more traffic are we going to receive? We looked at every single micro aspect of the business on this one-page strategic plan. Adam, you know that plan template. By the way, if you want that plan template, we have the template. It came from Scaling Up with Vern Harnish. We took an intensive course on growing the hell out of our business, and it works really well. It's awesome. He's done a really good job. The Growth Institute is badass. And yeah, so we shot for 50%, and we hit 48% growth. And then this year we're sitting at 98% growth so far for the year. But if you understand all of the pieces, all of the micro aspects of your business, and you know that you have KPIs associated with them, I'm talking very generally. Obviously, it's easy to talk about this stuff, but when it gets down to sitting down and actually laying out the plan and the numbers and your KPIs and all that stuff, it's going to take you, like it took us 2 months to do it, but we're going to grow like freaking crazy. And our bottom line at the end of the year, I'm going to be a happy camper. I'm going to walk away with an enormous amount of cash. Whereas if I didn't take the time to actually analyze the business and the micro aspects of the business, I might sit there at the end of the year going, man, my salary was good, but I have no dividends that I'm pulling from the business. And that sucks ass. Like, excuse me, but like straight up, I want this business to thrive, not just thrive. I want to thrive too from the business, right? So think about that. Take that into consideration. If you do want to have access to that template, you'll probably, Omi, you would need to get that from Amy, the Scaling Up one-page strategic plan, and email it. Grab Omi's email; he'll send it over to you guys. And yeah, that one-page strategic plan is a game changer. So I hope that you guys take the time to go through it. It's a little bit complex, but it's well worth the learning and going through it and dialing your business in, because the next thing you know, you're more rich and happier. Guys, I got to go to this fundraiser that's outside. So I don't mean to rush away. You guys are welcome. I'm gonna check out of here, but if you guys want to continue to jam, totally up to you. But guys, this is what I'm talking about, man. Sure. Adam, you want to keep going on here for a bit?
Yeah, I'm down to stay on if anyone wants to stay on. I was going to see what's the best way to I had a couple of questions for a couple of the guys here, if they want to stay on or exchange information or whatever you guys want to do.
That would be awesome. I need one thing though, guys. Like, I need a thumbs up, because I want more people like us on here. So everybody, do me a favor, just throw your thumb up for a second. That would be huge for me. Thumbs up, thumbs up. That's awesome. And I know we have Anthony. On here as well. I haven't got a chance to speak with you, Anthony, but thanks for coming in, man, and reach out to me anytime. Love to chat with you, buddy. And yeah, you guys rock and roll. Guys, I'm gone. Have a beautiful night. Enjoy the families, everything. Enjoy this beautiful life we get to live, guys. Peace.
Thanks, Judd.
Thanks for the info.
Enjoy.
Let's go on, fellas. Yeah, I took a couple notes here from some of you guys. I had a couple questions, like in particular for Alex and then Rod.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
shoot.
So for those like Rod, with you with the Walmart, and then Alex, you with the like getting that big deal with the apartment complexes, how did you first make that contact? So like for me personally, like I've been able to like secure some big deals, but those have been like long-term like relationships that I've built up over time, you know what I mean? Versus just like, and I've gone in there before and like signed deals, of course, but like in terms of getting a hold of someone that has the Walmart and 9 other ones, or like has that connect, I haven't won like cold with that in mind. I've gotten like relationships from like asking people I already know, but like never like from like a cold, like walk into a Walmart, hey, who manages the parking lot, or walk into a apartment complex. I've never really gotten anywhere with that. So like, how did you guys find your connects for those?
Well, actually, the way I landed mine was I knew the guy that has the contract for line striping, some Walmarts in my area, and he doesn't seal coat. So the guy asked him if he could seal coat and line stripe. And, he don't do the seal coating. He just does all the line striping. But he said, hey, I have somebody that does them. So in return, I met with him, gave him my info, told him, go ahead, take a look at my website, see what you think. Before pictures, after pictures, showed him like what I just showed you here about all the trifolds that I have, and explained everything to him, what we do. And again, I told him, we're probably not going to be your cheapest, because we're not, you know what I mean? Because we scale ours on our quality. So, and he said, no, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I guess what they do it instead of every other year, they do it every year. Walmart's do every year. So, I mean, that's a pretty big contract to land, to do something every year, knowing that you're going to have it year to year to year. And
They
now
still do it every single year.
Walmart's do in our area.
What you said you're in like Pennsylvania or something?
Ohio.
Oh, you guys get a lot of salt and thaw, right?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
See that out here in California, you're lucky if people do it every 4 years.
Oh yeah.
So
the salt really eats it up.
Yeah.
What is if anybody knows, like, so what is the best way to contact those big stores like that? Like, who are you going to? Are you emailing head office? Are you walking in the door to like, I mean, I'm sending out, so I've got like I started with churches, and I've got some car dealerships that I've sent contacts out, and I've got some quotes that I've got to give out now. And I'm just sending sort of my flyer. I'm attaching my flyer plus a well-scripted email to these places. But is there a better way to reach out to some of these bigger places?
Well, so like if you go to like a strip mall or something like that, right? They're
all property managers.
None of those stores are going to own their place. Like a Walmart, they probably own the real estate. So you're not going to find a management company. But in any kind of strip mall or commercial space, there's going to be a commercial real estate property management company that does all of the leasing. So when one of those units turns over, or even if it's like an office park, one of those units is going to turn over, they're going to have to go out and find a new client and fill that space. So there's going to be a company that manages that whole property. And they're pretty well advertised. And those guys usually own, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100. Different complexes of similar size. So that, you get in that way. I mean, the thing I was talking about earlier, Adam, was these vendor compliance companies. Like once you get on board and you become an approved vendor, anybody can look for you, but you can also farm that list. So if you say, it depends on what vertical you're going after, right? So like we do mostly apartments, like we do a ton of apartments. And then we go on and we find out who are the management companies that have the most apartments on there, and then we start contacting them. Either that, or it works both ways. They're looking for a asphalt contractor or a concrete contractor for us, and they reach out to us based on the fact that we're an approved vendor, and they can only use an approved vendor from their vendor list. So if you get your name on those lists with these third-party management companies, they basically take your certificate of insurance and your W-9 or whatever. They make sure that you're a legit company, you have a contractor's license, and then they put your name, and you can like advertise to them as well. So, other entities can find you through that list.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Like whatever the Canadian version of that would be.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
So what title would you guys say is more common to make the decision on like a Walmart? What job title would that be?
That would be the facilities manager, or depending on what region you're in, regional manager.
Nice.
But also, up in my area, I can't speak for any other area because I don't know, but up in my area here, there's also there's a website that you can actually pay for leads, and Walmart's constantly on there. Targets are on there. I don't know if you're familiar with Targets or not, but that's another big box store. And then once you're on that list, like I just got, it was like 3 weeks ago, I just got an email stating that there was 3 Walmarts, but it was like, it was almost like towards the Michigan way, but it was in Ohio. But that's just a little bit too far for me. So I didn't bid on that. But they let me know whenever stuff comes up for bid, and then I can bid on it.
And that's also like a vendor compliance website you were saying?
That's very similar to what Alex was talking about.
Okay.
Yes, that's very, there's different languages for different regions where you're at, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's very similar to what Alex was just talking about.
Yeah, vendor credentialing, vendor compliance,
Right.
like that. Rod, who was doing all your estimates year one? I mean, like, how did you manage growing? You were doing them all?
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, to be honest, I didn't trust nobody. You know what I mean? Because I was new to it. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to like bomb out. You know what I mean? So I just went ahead and hit the ground running. And then I was talking to Judd, and Judd's just so full of knowledge, man. He's just an awesome dude, and turned me on to some things. You know what I mean? Where you can now I could just sit in my truck, and if I want to go to the site, I can go to the site. I have everything with me in my truck. Download it real quick, put the estimate out, and literally email it to them in 10 minutes.
So you're not even going and looking at the quality of the asphalt or anything?
Yes, I am. That's why I said I go there. If it's a big job, I go there, I look, because they're going to want a price on all the cracks and so on. So I go there and then I look at it, you know what I mean? Because like you just said, sometimes it's so bad that you might have to cut this out and patch it, or vice versa, or if it's a good parking lot's been taken care of, then you can get away with go ahead and, cleaning it up and, crack filling and then sealing it twice.
So you're not like counting parking lines and
yes,
out there with.
I do that once I go ahead and because I Google Earth it and I can see everything, and then I'll count all the parking lines before I go there, and then I do once I hit the spot, if I know it, you know what I mean, I know what kind of shape it's already in, and then I'll just go ahead and do the estimate there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many of you guys are contracting out any of your services and brokering out a percentage of it? And you guys
I actually contracted out my line striping last year with this other guy, because at the time, like I said, I started off with a truck that I had built myself because I had $10,000 and that's all I allotted myself. So I bought me a truck for $1,500, bought the tank, did all the welding myself, did everything, plumbed everything in, bought a ground blower and, to start everything off. And then as I was getting into it, they're like, okay, we need this line striped and this line striped. And I'm like, well, I don't line stripe, you know what I mean? So then I went online and, posted something in one of the groups. Hey, I need line stripers. And so I took a look at his work and went out and looked at some of his jobs, and then brought him on, and he took care of all my line striping last year. So now 2 months ago, I went out and bought some line stripers. So we're going to hit everything this year. But if not, I mean, he turned into be a really good friend of mine now. You know what I mean? So, but if not, then he's going to handle all my overflow.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and he's really good.
Were you taking a percentage off of that work?
No, I was giving it to him because we was so busy with the seal coating. I was just letting him just take it all. You know what I mean? Because he does a great job. I ain't got to worry about it. Now, if I didn't, wasn't that dude fond of him, but I knew he was going to do a great job and everything would look perfect.
Right.
So,
Nice.
so I mean, that little piece of mind, the percentage was worth a piece of my mind knowing it's done.
Yeah. Are you doing that?
Yeah, we do a lot.
What kind of percentages are you taking off your different services?
So it depends on the service. So like I originally, like when I was in school, it was a window and gutter cleaning company. We have all of that's all done now, like out of house. That's all done by another company. Those jobs, like if they call in, we'll sell them. If not, then like we kind of just run it's kind of automated, to be honest with you at this point. Like they'll call in, or they're already like existing clients. And then we just have the other guy do the jobs on his pricing for them. So that's more of like, because he doesn't charge enough. And then for any hot asphalt work, we also sub that out. So we do repaves in certain areas where we have like a reputable guy. Other areas we'll just tell them, hey, sorry. A big thing we sub out are ramps. Ramps are like for the mouth of the garage when they sink. We have a guy that does that for 125 for a single and 225 or 250 or something like that for a double. And we charge for a single 350.
And that's all he does.
And we charge 600 for a double ramp. Like we charge like over triple of what he charges us. We've never had a problem with that. And then we also we fulfill for a company as well. Like we're like we have a full team that's just fulfillment for another company, and we pay them 35%, but they sell the job, book the work, collect payment, and then we just get paid out. And then on that, our profit goal on that is still to hit 30%.
Wow, that's great.
Wow. Yeah.
That's really great.
We charge quite like we're pretty like in terms of like pricing for our area, we're pretty dear for everything. We just started doing that like 2 years ago, raising prices like crazy to filter out clients, because like I said, our thing was we had a lot of jobs, and like our phone was like we weren't running ads, we were always busy. But dealing with too many small jobs and too many headaches, so like we raised our prices like a lot. Like we're significantly more than our competitors. But when we go do the driveway sealing, we trim the edges. Like if there's any like little weeds in the interlock that's small and close near, the guys take those out. We do go above and beyond. We have our like very good branding on social media. So we charge quite a bit. So like it kind of depends on the service, on how much what service we're out doing and stuff like that. We also do the gutter guards, which is a very high ticket service. Like you can do roughly like 6,000 a day in gutter guards. And that is from a company that like will partner with a window cleaning company and then just pay them out. We tell them per foot what they need to charge, and then we pay them out from that. So it depends on the service, but we've been only ever been burnt once on an asphalt job. Like I just did a shitty job. Other than that, like having a good partnership with companies and figuring out like what makes the most sense has been pretty good for us.
Yeah.
Like hot asphalt subbing alone, I think our goal is like 100 this year.
Nice.
100,000 in subbing.
So I just quoted a car dealership's about $100,000 job. It's about 23,000 square feet, and their back corner needs to be repaved. So I subbed out the paving to a guy that's made a contact through my seal coating. He's got the paving industry. So I tacked on about 5%. Is that too little? Is it too, what do you?
Usually tack on minimum 15%. Like that's our bare minimum.
Right.
Even with paving, eh?
For paving to anything. Like we rather like, because again, I know it seems like it's just gonna be straightforward, but you have to ask yourself at 5%, that guy at 5%, you'd want that guy for you to just give him the job details, him show up there, he does the job, the client pays, and he says, thanks, done. Right at 5%. But that's generally not how it goes. And again, like it took us a while to find those strategic asphalt for asphalt repaves and stuff, those partnerships, just because again, like not every asphalt company's out there for the right reasons. So like we had a harder time finding that relationship and like a trustworthy one.
Yeah.
So like I think like, and again, it really depends on where you're at, but like we always say at least 15%, or it's not even worth putting it
Okay.
in schedule and dealing with if there's an issue and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you're just to close the deal, then like you can find your margin other spots too, right?
Yeah, which I've done with with pressure washing and same, right? But it's a lot higher. Yeah.
We also last year moved to like actual agreements as well, which was huge. Like putting together like a proper, like, again, like we do it on a template, and if we need help from like a lawyer, like we'll get someone to like look it over quick. But having that, and we've never had to like go and use it. And realistically, like as any of you guys know, unless it's a big amount of money, you're not going to go to small claims court anyways. But just like having like the details of what's going to go down and stuff just we've noticed, at least, or maybe we've just got better at like vibing out people. But we've noticed that since, even if it was something like with the hot asphalt guys, like they're just two guys in a truck that do the ramps, but we still put something together, like what they want for the size of the driveway and like what the callback thing is, and like just have a little bit more of like responsibility. And we've noticed that has helped.
So it looks more professional.
Yeah. Versus just like, oh, like here, we'll toss you this, toss you, like,
yeah.
And maybe another thing too is just like being a younger guy. I think some of the paving guys and other like contract, because we give people like whatever. I mean, we get a lot of like people asking for stuff, as you guys know. But like when things weren't official, I don't think they would really take it as seriously, like the bigger companies. And also like they know you're not going to do anything anyways. So it really depends on I guess long story short, really depends on like what work is going which way and the relationship you actually have with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the relationship that you have with somebody goes really a long way. You know what I mean? If you can build a good working relationship with somebody, then you're more comfortable up here by knowing the job's going to get done right. You know, like last year, we turned down so much paving work, but I didn't know a paver. I didn't know a paver at the time. So I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? Halfway through the year, I'm like, hey, we're just going to go ahead and buy a paver. So I went and bought a paver for this year. And then 2.5 months ago, I ran across a excellent deal on the Leafway 8500 that I just couldn't pass up. So I bought that one. So now that's the big paver that we're going to have for the parking lots and stuff. And then the other paver that I had bought at the end of last year, we're going to do for driveways and stuff. So, but I don't want to turn nothing down, you know what I mean, if we don't have to. But if
hey, Rod, who you got for licensing and all that stuff? I mean, obviously you're kind of jumping into stuff you haven't done right before, but how are you getting experienced operators and running it from that perspective? You're out doing the estimates and whatnot, so like it sounds like you're pulled in many different directions. How do you keep it all together?
Well, you know, I'm just a very detailed guy. I always have been. But that's a great question. I actually ran across a guy that's been an paving operator for 22 years. So, and then in return, he had a buddy that just moved up this way from Florida that's also an operator. So I just lucked out and, you know, ran into this guy, which is, so, you know, I definitely hired him. And now his other guy said absolutely he's interested, so I got to meet with him when I get back from vacation. But them would be the two guys that's going to show me, because I know nothing about paving. You know what I mean? Just YouTube videos and stuff like that. No hands-on experience. So
are they you gonna use them as like a qualifying individual for the
absolutely, right. And of course, I mean, there's more to it than just that. I mean, you actually have to watch them. You know what I mean? Now, I know another guy that's been in a paving. He's had a company over here for 40 some years. You know what I mean? So, and I know him personally, and he's about to get out of the business. So, and I asked him, I said, hey, you know what I mean? My first job, I need you over here to look and make sure these guys know what they're doing. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. You know, so I'm gonna have him over there, you know, tweaking it and making sure. So
what's your goal this year, if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to answer, but
with the whole complete or just the paving, or
like the seal and stripe.
Okay, the seal and stripe, my goal is 650.
Okay,
that's my goal for that. I'm wanting to do 250, 300 for the paving.
Mm-hmm.
What's your average job size you looking for the seal coating then?
20,000 and up.
Yeah.
Because that's where, you know what I mean, that's where the money starts,
Yeah.
coming in at. So, and like I said, we're like 80-20. The residentials that we do get, I try to put them off a little while, a couple days, you know what I mean? In case we do finish a job early that we've been working on for a day and a half, and then we can just go ahead and knock that one out. And then, vice versa, instead of knocking residentials out first and then putting a commercial on the back burner.
Yeah.
Because the commercial, you got to work around the traffic and the store hours, and if it's a store or whatever case it may be.
For a $20,000 job, how long is your sales cycle?
Excuse me?
For like a $20,000 deal, if you're going in there cold, no like referral or anything like that, you're walking up to a parking lot and you're going to close a $20,000 deal. What's your typical sales cycle? Like, how long is it?
What I do, and again, it really all depends on who it is or what it is. Like I just landed this church. It's about 30,000 square feet. So I went in there and I said, hey, you know what I mean? I'd like to drop some literature off to you so you can, and I dropped these off to them, you know what I mean? Just the normal stuff. I would like to drop some literature off to you for you to take a look at. I see that the parking lot is in distress. It looks like it has been done in, 3 to 4 years and so on. And I said, we'll definitely like to do some, work for you. And literally, if I can't get a handshake then, the next day I'm calling him to keep it fresh into his mind. And then normally it's, hey, let's meet this up again and get this squared away.
So you'd say like 2 weeks, a week?
I'm going to say probably 4 to 5 days.
Yeah, that's what they want.
But again, that just all depends on what it is, because some people are so busy, you can call them and they get their voicemail, but they're not going to call you right back because they're busy with something else. You know what I mean? But it like a big box store or a car lot or new car dealer, because we do new car dealerships over in this area. Now, one of them is probably a week and a half, 2 weeks, because they're stretched from here to here to here. They're everywhere. You know what I mean? So try to get his attention to get this nailed down. It's a little bit harder than say a church, you know what I mean? Or a small lot, you know what I mean? Because they're not being pulled every which way.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah,
that's
normally
a lot better than my sales cycle. I'm looking at like 2 years. It's ridiculous. Like they budget for something and then they're like, okay, well, give me a quote this year and then I'll put it in the budget for next year. And then it goes into the budget and they have a water main leak and they spend the money on that. And then it goes into the next year. And like, nobody gives a shit in California because.
You know what, Alex? You know what? Probably that plays a big part too. Up here and the guy out here from Pennsylvania still.
Yep.
Yeah, Connor, is that you? Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Now see that plays a different. I'm sure I can speak for you because you get snow. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. See down there, Alex, where you're at. I mean, the parking lots are probably okay for a little longer, but up here, once this salt hits them, it's over.
Yeah, they're toast.
So they have to make a quick decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and then you add the plows, the blades on the plows, scraping the hell out of them.
Yeah, we don't have any. Dude. Like they can go 5 years out here and it'll still.
Oh yeah, fun. No way.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
What's the furthest you guys, like, if you get a job, what radius would you not take it? Like 25 miles, 50 miles?
Well, you know what? That's a good question too, because there's a lot of things that play into that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? How many square feet? What type of shape is it and how long is it going to take you? If you're going to have to make multiple trips back and forth, then, that's time and money's time. You know what I mean? You're going to have to add on your traveling time there, your traveling time back, okay. So there's a lot of things. But what we do from that standpoint is, like what I just said, the most I go is 60 miles each way.
Radius. Okay.
That's it. But you know what I mean? And then if it's over like 40 miles, I charge a time, you know what I mean? My
Okay.
traveling time there, and my
Okay.
traveling time back to the shop on
Okay.
top of it. Because
Okay.
if not, then like what Alex was saying earlier and Judd, you know what I mean? You're just gonna lose.
Okay.
We're gonna lose if you don't tag it on.
And
All right.
James, that's where it's great. Like if you're networking and you have some seal coaters that are 50 miles away or 60 miles away, and you're trading jobs back and forth because you're advertising it, and you're getting work out that way, but it's
Yep.
too far for you to go. Give it to them, take your percentage. You're
Okay.
going to get that back in return too, right? So that kind of networking.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, one more thing on that for you there, James. You only the only person that can really answer that question truly is you, by knowing your numbers, right? Like where you are in your business journey. Like if you know you can go there and it's going to cost you an extra $40 in labor and $20 in gas,
Right.
but you're still going to make $500 on the day versus not having a job.
Yeah.
I would like, we never would, like, just like where I live, like the city I live in, like we never drive more than 20 minutes. However, like we will like rewind like 3 or 4 years ago when I was still like growing the business. Like if there was a job that was out in Rockland, which is like 45 minutes from here, I can say, okay, we're still going to make money. I would like Rod was saying there, like price it into the job. But like, yeah, it's like the only one that can really truly ever answer that, like what your minimum or how far to drive out is you by knowing your numbers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like I go 180 miles. That's my radius.
Maybe you don't. Yeah, right.
Or driveway.
Are you serious? Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
You're not. Are you being sarcastic? You're being sarcastic.
No, I'm serious. But like,
Or how big
What
of
do
a
you
job?
think? What kind of
How big of a job?
I mean, I do all kinds of things, right? So I'm in the concrete business and all that stuff too. But like, I'll go from Sacramento to Fresno and do a Sealcoat job, but we'll make, $3,000 for the day. So I'll send the guys down there, and they'll be there like in Fresno for the week, right? So they'll do several jobs. When we do concrete grinding, one guy can make $2,000 in profit a day, just by himself. One guy, and I got like 3 guys doing it. They are like $6,000 a day in profit, just with like a little grinding machine and a little can of gas. So
What is he doing?
we do like a lot of trip hazard stuff. So it's a machine that has diamond teeth on the bottom, and it chews up concrete, and you just eat up a trip hazard on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And that machine, you could do like, we charge $50 a trip hazard, and a guy could do like 50 in a day by himself. And you just let him loose with this little grinding machine, and he goes across the property and made you $2,000 for like a can of gas.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Is that very similar to the mill machines?
the what?
Milling machines?
Kind of, but it's like a little tiny one, and it's 8 inches wide. The drum is 8
right.
inches wide.
Like a compactor.
I'll post a picture of what it is, but I mean, it's still like an awesome additional source of revenue, because you're walking past concrete all the time.
Right.
Yeah, really.
This is here. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Do any of you guys do any other services, or everyone's just asphalt or concrete right now?
I do
I do bollards. Yeah, we do bollards. That's another way to make some really great profit,
Like pool?
because I mean, when it's all said and done with one, we got about $150 in materials, signage, concrete, and everything, and we charge $650.
What service is that, Rod? Sorry, I didn't hear what you.
Bollards for signs.
Oh,
Like when you go up, when you go to like a
post at the bottom.
Walmart and you got the steel pipe, and with the sign sticking out,
Yeah.
no parking done, right? So, and then that ain't nothing. You know what I mean? So, like I said, $150 in materials, and we charge $650.
Wow.
And you can literally do 3 hours done. So, but that's what we do also. But other than that, besides this year paving, that's, you know.
Yeah. We just added pressure washing. I was doing some concrete sealing
Oh, that's
last couple
great.
of years. So I just get calls for those all the time. I figured I might as well start doing them. But the pressure washing is, we just bought a 16-inch surface cleaner and pressure washer. So we're going to start doing that this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
I do pressure washing too.
Oh, do you?
For
Yeah.
like driveways or patios or like
Yeah. Well, driveways, like, so the car decks on car dealerships, walkways of commercial buildings, or concrete. We got a lot of concrete driveways. You guys probably, everybody's got either
Yeah.
concrete or
if
asphalt.
you're
So,
doing
yeah.
that, man, you should hook up with some painters and do the prep for their painting. You pressure wash down the house.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
It's any good painter will pressure wash the whole house first. I mean, you kind of have to, but
Yeah.
that's a ton of business. You find a good painter that's busy, and you just go ahead in front of them, pressure wash down the house.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. James, you do the soft washing too, like the houses?
No, well, I'm in the Bahamas, so we do a lot of pressure washing for like he said, like painters, but most guys really want just get the house pressure wash, and they go ahead and paint. And we have like gutters here too.
Yeah.
Where I work on a key, like it's a lot of guys have like copper gutters. So yeah, and some people like it to get detailed. So yeah.
No. Nice.
Yeah.
Adam, you
What's
pressure
the-
washing?
We do it a bit. Like my first business was windows, gutters, and pressure washing. So we'll still do the odd one, but we don't advertise it or anything. Our biggest service is the Christmas lights.
That's crazy. That,
So we
I couldn't
do-
believe how much you're making.
I heard about that.
Yeah, so we do commercial lights. We provide them, like they're like it's not even remotely close to the stuff you buy at the hardware store. Commercial lights, we do the install, any in-season maintenance, and then we take them down and store them. It's like a leasing program. And last year we introduced the like recurring service agreements, and we had $86,000 worth of people sign up for 3-year agreements.
Wow.
We do $1,000. Yeah, so each vehicle last year in 40 days did at least 6 figures for each vehicle we had out.
Oh. So what are some of the commercial places that you have, like retail?
Like Baton Rouge, the Keg, Saint Hubert, which is like a chicken spot here, a Tim Hortons. Those are like our commercial ones, but most of that's residential. Oh, and then we did like a milk factory here, like a office warehouse and stuff. But that's mostly residential as well on the lights. Like we've been really heavy in the residential just because that's what I started in. And we started getting more into commercial like last year. But like this year, like we have a deal with Ford for $30,000 for the lights for a season, and the lights are very lucrative because again, like you buy the product and then you just lease it out.
Right. How do you charge out for lights if you're doing a residential place, like just linear foot or?
No, like it comes a bit more than just linear foot, like difficulties and stuff like that. But like every single year, like we always have our minimum for that. So my first year was 500, and then it was 750. Then last year was 1,000, and we like each vehicle a day like should be like on average. Like again, there's days you'll do more, but like 2 guys working for you, like not they are not busting their ass full tilt, can do 5,000 a day, which is basically pure profit.
That's just residential?
That's residential, yeah.
Wow.
People go crazy for lights. Like some of our residential houses spend $3,000 on lights for a lease for a year.
Do you have a bucket truck?
500. Sorry, go ahead, Rod.
I'm sorry. Do you have a bucket truck?
No. So what we do most of it all from the ladder, and if we ever need like a boom, we'll rent it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll rent the boom for the day. It's like $300, and then you can go and do it. But for instance, like we'll do like 40-foot tall, like evergreen trees, like Christmas trees, and those will be like $3,000 easy minimum to start.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, the lights. It's a nice change of pace too. But the lights are our biggest like money maker, and it's like compared to other services, it's like it's the best way to describe it is like you're the hot girl at the one hot girl at a party. Like it is
Exactly.
it's very like underserved though.
Where do you buy these? This some of a commercial kind of light that you get. Where do you get those from?
China.
Oh, so they like you can look online just on DHgate or wherever and just have like commercial Christmas lights.
I think I'm gonna be supplying the lights this year if things work out well. But no, like my first year I was getting them out of Colorado. But the Christmas light market, like the Christmas light, when I say the market's underserved, like it's underserved for clients, but it's also underserved for people actually like getting the supplies. Like I'm in a Facebook group and every single year it's like one guy from Ohio sending it to another guy in California because no suppliers have this bulb. Like it's still very like that. Like, and there's quite a few different like bulbs and stuff like that. But I've been talking with Judson about maybe getting some lights down here and like doing it with like 20 people or 15 people max and seeing like how like a kind of a group like this and leading up to Christmas and doing something like that we were talking about maybe.
Right. Yeah.
But like in terms of like referring you to a light person right now, like I wouldn't even want to do that, man. Like we've had so bad of experiences with just like that's been our biggest issue with lights is the supplier. That's our only issue with lights. Just between like it's not like Asphalt Kingdom at all. Like you can call and order something, they'll charge your card, and then you call them a week later and say, hey, it hasn't been shipped yet, and they'll be, oh no, like we're backed up. Like just, or they'll send you a different color, like they'll sell you a warm white one day, and then you'll order it next time, it's a different shade of white, so I have to go redo houses. Like that's how, like it's not like Asphalt Kingdom where you need something, you know they're gonna help you and deliver it. But like it's like the commercial lights, I have it on my TikTok quite a bit and in my Instagram. Yeah, mostly on my TikTok talking about the commercial lights. And I'm always down to like next time we do a call like this, answer more questions on it.
Hey guys, I put my my name down here in the name of my business. That's what I'm on Facebook. So if you guys are more than welcome to friend request me, and then that way we can keep up with each other. And if you ever have any questions or anything, you're more than welcome to hit me up and go from there.
Nice. Thanks, Rod. I'll do that.
Cool. All right, guys, I gotta head out here.
Yeah.
Good chat with everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce too, fellas. But do you guys use Instagram or what? You guys have Instagram? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put my Instagram in there. That's probably my best way just to like shoot the shit. And like it's back and forth, and I'll follow you guys back.
All right.
Yeah, I got you.
I think I'm following you already, Adam.
Yeah,
Or
I think I follow you too, Adam.
okay, can you guys shoot both of you message me or like comment or something on my last post and I'll find it. I guess some messages from TikTok. You can't even. Yeah.
All right.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna make
All right. Take
All
care.
right.
fellas.
Thanks again.
All right.
See you, boys.